Did you, Michael, participate in the MUSC event that Jill promotes?
I did.
Did you? How
Yep.
was it?
It was awesome. Well done. Lots of good speakers. Learned a lot. They use the WebEx program, which seems to work very well for large groups of people.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the same thing last year. I got knocked down by my stomach issues, and I couldn't leave the house, and I hadn't prepared to go for it anyway because it is a little bit of a ticket, and I don't want to make normal pay for it at this point. So, but yeah, I heard last year's was very good, and I assume they always seem to have pretty informative stuff. I know I saw somebody commenting about watch out for the what was it, the drug counselor type folks or something like that, and some of their information. But
Yeah, it's kind of hard to speak medical cannabis because the first thing they go to is, the cannabis use disorder and the abuse of it, and yeah, it's
now, and you'll probably know a whole lot more about this than I. There's no real hard science between that type of stuff that I'm aware of, is there?
Cannabis use disorder. I mean, there's some basic statistics, and I mean, they 9% of children, teenagers starting cannabis have a likelihood of advancing to being addicted to cannabis. I don't remember what the percentage was for cannabis use disorder, but cannabis use disorder, a lot of it has to do with the fact that, trying to get your cannabis, or having issues with your employer in cannabis. So like in my case with being in the Army, using CBD becomes a problem. So in any state, if it was legal federally, then that would be one less criteria that you would make because you wouldn't be getting fired from your job for a per se drug screening.
So they're sort of associating, if I'm understanding correctly, a use disorder with legal definitions, not medical definitions.
Yeah, a lot of it is legal.
In legal definition, not medical definitions. And it's just, and for the most part, because it's legal, but you still do it, you've got a problem.
Yep.
Is that kind of
that's a good explanation. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I was curious because geez, what's that relate to? With my stomach stuff, excuse me real quick. About, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, pretty early on when I got to the Charleston area, I went to a local practitioner who then sent me on to like some gastroenterologists, and both of them, I think one of the first things out of my mouth when I was sort of done explaining my symptoms, mentioned to me, "Oh, have you heard of cannabis hypermesis syndrome?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Come on, let's talk real science here. Let's not talk things that are hypotheticals and made up, and you've got no hard science behind it whatsoever." Yeah, that stuff just sort of irks me a little bit. Let's talk real science.
Yeah, I don't think that I've never seen a valid number of true diagnosis with cannabis use or cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, but I don't think it's that prevalent that that physicians really are that aware of it. And it's usually the chronic users that are using extremely high doses. So
right, that's a lot of it. They're talking about extremely high doses all at one time, and this is something I've been cycling through over and over and over again for about over 20 years now. So it's not overuse of high concentration THC dabs and stuff like that. But anyway, to me it was humorous that was where the pharmaceutically trained, as I like to put it, medical professionals want to go with it as soon as I explain my problem, or my symptoms. instead of going, oh, let's look for the real problem.
Yeah.
Oh, I have some family in town. My sister has three sisters. Two of them are twins. They bought me a new shirt. I don't know if anybody can see it. So I'm a happy boy with my new shirt today. Okay, folks, we are here at 7:03 for the South Carolina Cannabis Conversation. My name is Scott Weldon with the South Carolina chapter of the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, NORML as we call it. All of our meetings are an environment of education and awareness and are not an open market for the sale, purchase, or distribution of cannabis. We do not encourage or condone illegal behavior of any kind. Close that little document. That's like my favorite thing. I've almost got it memorized. Not. I still read it every time. Another window in my way. I think I can close that. I can close that. And all right. All right. We see Joey here tonight, Michael here tonight. Again, thank you everybody who's joined us live. Anybody who might be watching us live streaming to our YouTube channel. If you are watching on YouTube channel, I don't necessarily watch the comments, so I may not be responding to any comments or replies live, but we will try and follow up with them later on after the recording renders on our YouTube channel. And anybody who's watching later, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. As some of you maybe either know, or actually I think all of you kind of know or heard while sitting in at the start, uh, or watched last Wednesday. Boy, I kind of watched a little bit of myself, and I look like one hurting camper. I was down and out, but we decided to, we decided after kind of consulting with National a little bit and watching what some other chapters are doing, and even other advocates here in South Carolina, decided to try and I'm going to say slap together a virtual lobby day. Even just I'm going to say 2 nights ago, I was talking to my board and I says, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and the other thing. And we'll have it all ready to fly by Wednesday night. And that's where I think my delusions of grandeur kind of got away from me a little bit, but everything's pretty much in place. We did have an opportunity to listen to Kristen last night talk about some templates that she put together, and I just need to find out where I put them at the moment. There they are in the Word program. And with that, she also has some like notes on, excuse me, how to use maybe the phone scripts. Don't just read it over the phone. Try and practice it and be able to speak it without reading it word for word, especially not reading it your first time through. And then the scripts that she did, there's our phone scripts. I'm going to scroll through with you guys. I'm not sharing my screen. Phone script, phone script, phone script, email script, email script, email script. Okay, so what she broke these down into is 3 different phone scripts. Each phone script kind of relates to, one is the Senate portion of the Compassionate Care Act and medical marijuana. Now, the second phone script, she actually drafted it up talking more about the for the House. And this is for the House, and she drafted up referencing only at this point H3174, which is the Put Patient First Act. It is the act that we much prefer. I will lightly be editing this. I mentioned to her, and also including the H3361. I don't have it right in front of me. The House version of the Compassionate Care Act. And then the last phone script is the basically talking about legalization and decriminalization ballot measures. So we don't have legalization, but are the decriminalization ballot measures S33, 335, and S268 for the Senate. And then she does some email scripts. I'm gonna have to look at that because I want to generalize the decrim script so that it will sort of address both the House and the Senate decrim bills. You can use the one letter and use it for both. So we're going to be addressing medical to the House, medical to the Senate, and then basically a decrim to good for both House and Senate. And then the emails are again very similar: senators for medical use, House for medical use, and then decriminalization. And I'm going to stretch those decriminalization scripts on the email and the um, excuse me, I'm blanking, and the phone script to include a little bit of the asset forfeiture stuff because there is some of that also out there. I'll get all the other bills updated in there. And the one thing I'm going to peek on my screen here before I say it out loud, because if I don't check, I'm probably going to be wrong. The, come on, catch up. There it goes. The Take Action section on Normal National site, or NORMLS, I'm sorry, NORML.org. They have a very cool kind of interactive map on their Take Action page. And if you go down and you click on the South Carolina bill, it lists the 9 bills that we're actually have been discussing for the most part in the past couple of weeks. I think I had my list somewhere at 14, but those other 5 were not necessarily the medical decriminalization and the ballot measures, the other one. But what's nice with that, if you go and you click on that little map, got to show it to you. Here comes the share, my friends. Here comes the share. All right, that one. Get the Normal's main web page. You get this one right here. Take action. It pops you over to the Take Action page, and just below, oh, there's loading the map right up on the top. Find South Carolina. And when you click on that, this also, outside of what we're hoping to put this for, this is the templates on our action page on our normal SC site. You can use these for your lobbying efforts. You'll see right here. You can click into the details on these if you want. Good example, 3361. This is the compassionate care version on the House. But these will tell you whether it's medical access, decriminalization. Here's decriminalization for vets, medical issues. This is 3174. So this should be the put patients first. Detail. What's the detail going to tell me? Yeah, this is Rutherford's Put Patients First Act. We've got 2 other sponsors on it at the moment, but that's all. But the other thing you can do is these are linked through Action Network. And as I was mentioning with Action Network, when you sign up and go and interact on Action Network, this will take you right to a letter to send to your legislators. Actually, I think this is just an HTML page that it'll take you to. So here we can see it talks about South Carolina medical effort. This one does talk about both H3361 and S151, which is the Compassionate Care Act. And you can see that there is a start writing. Well, it gives you the description up top, and then you would enter your address. They've got mine, as you can see, and that will select your legislators. I was talking this with some folks earlier today. It's a pretty crazy system out there that your legislators are, so unique. You have to use your address because the people across the street might have 1 or 2 different ones, or it's not by county, it's now by town, it's not by zip code. It's by your address. And that's one of the things about the gerrymandering. They'll go down one street, turn up another. Pretty entertaining. So if you do then click onto the start writing your letter, you'll see you'll take us right into the templated version that South Carolina for this particular thing that Normal has already drafted out for us. As your constituent, I'm writing to urge you to support legislation to allow physicians to authorize medical marijuana therapy to qualified patients. And the thing that's nice is this window that I'm scrolling in right here You can get down to, wherever you want to, start at the top, start at the bottom, and you can modify that. You can go in here and start typing some more stuff and modify that letter. And when you then go to send, it will then probably ask you some other. I get a lot of stuff from some of them where Lindsey Graham wants to know I don't think it's phone number, but do I want to be addressed as Mr. or Lady G or that kind of stuff. But that is one way to really be able to sort of help this week. Like I say, this is kind of our lobby day kickoff. There's my other notepad. This is going to be one of the great tools to go ahead and be able to contact your legislators, make sure that you share the message, not have to go and start from scratch and rewrite the letters. And again, in that section that I just showed you a moment ago where you can edit the letter, that's the section where you'll want to be able to put your own comments in. If you're commenting on that one's about the Compassionate Care Act, and you're writing to, yeah, well, it's going out to all of them sort of as a same letter when you saw it was going to both my reps, my senators, blah, blah, blah. But you can say, specifically to my senators, if you're helping to move this bill forward, we do ask for amendments to allow home grow or smoking or all the things that we think are, maybe wrong with it. I did reach out to National just because I still need a little clarification on the both of these versions of the bill. And geez, I think I saw another state trying to do it where there was wording in there that's going to prevent moving legalization forward. If we pass this bill, we can't go ahead later on and try and move legalization forward, and that's a no-no. So that's something we don't want to support, um, obviously. But I wanted to show that to you because I thought that was a really good option. Now, my lack of being able to really focus the past day or two to get this set up has caused me to sort of create a roll of the dice lobby week. And what I thought I would kind of do, and I'll be posting this again on our Take Action page as I explained it on there on normalsc.org, is that I'm going to sort of give methods on contact and then topics to contact about. We have certain methods like send an email, write a letter, mail a postcard, create a video, and send it to them, share it to them, post it to their social media or some other type of social media contact, and then we'll have the topic, medical, decrim, forfeiture, and we'll probably throw a couple of other handfuls of things that maybe you'll want to mention. One of the ones I hate is pre-employment drug testing. I just think that is completely ridiculous, and just a way to discriminate against a portion of the population that prefers cannabis. Anyway, you will be seeing that roll out starting tomorrow morning. We'll be kind of finishing up some of that editing on the templates tonight. And then what we'll do is ask you to take a look at those templates, visit the Normals National site, and over the next week, we'll kind of wrap it up next Wednesday. I'm going to ask you to, make your own kind of schedule for it and say, today I'm going to write a letter. And actually, I mean, like a mailed letter. So like to me, I would probably do that on a day where I know I'm going to be near enough to the post office and feel like leaving the house. It's not raining. Same with the postcard. And I might write them both the same day, write them on the weekend and mail them both on Monday. Send an email, make a video. I was thinking about that one, and what I'm finding the easiest way to make videos right about now is Zoom. And I think even the free Zoom version, you can kind of talk to yourself like on a video meeting, and you just use the record on your home recorder if you have a computer. So I don't know if that would work on a phone or anything, but might be an option for you out there. Where are we? We are almost at 20 after. Does anybody have any thoughts, questions, comments on getting active this week and contacting your legislators? All right. The last thing I guess I think I really even mentioned it last week briefly. I am not always, although I might seem like I love to be in front of the camera when we're talking on the Zoom meetings, not really one to pick up a phone and call people a whole lot. I prefer having something kind of prepared and leave a message. So there are those options. You don't have to call during the day when the offices are open at Columbia. Our legislators are in Columbia. They're in session now. So call their Columbia offices as you're trying to contact. Write mail to their Columbia offices. And quick note on that to make sure you know where they are. Um, Go to scvotes.org. Super easy. I mean, I must admit, South Carolina makes it super easy. You go to scvotes. I'm giving you the wrong information. scstatehouse.gov. scstatehouse.gov. And right there on the front page, kind of lower left corner, on your phone, it may be a little different, but there's a spot where you key in your address, and that is where you'll find your 5 legislators in a snap. That's your federal and your state level. We are targeting this effort at just your state level, so you don't need to write to your representatives and senators at the federal level on this particular effort. This week is State Lobby Week. So your state senators, your state House representatives, um, and you'll probably have 2 of those. And one of each, and we'll go from there. Any questions in the meantime during the week? You guys, I hope you know how to find me either through Facebook, way too often. Email us at normalsouthcarolina@gmail.com. Contact us through the contact page on our website. Um, and we actually have a voicemail. If you wanted to leave us a message, you can find that voicemail on our website on our contact page. Uh, Otherwise, that's really all I've got for you tonight, and I will we'll kind of wrap up Lobby Week next week and uh, critique the flying by the seat of the pants aspect of it. But have fun with it. I did want to mention something real quick. I was just going to end it. I forgot to. This one thing is talking. If you do decide to make a video using something like the Zoom here, I would recommend to do your best to kind of have a nice, clean, viewable workspace behind you. Don't make it look like I don't know, crazy stuff. Um, Basically making good bright lighting. Don't have it like you're in the dark in a hole somewhere. Your background should be somewhat interesting, but not really distracting or disorderly. Try and make eye contact with the camera, with the person who's going to be viewing your video at the State House if you make a video again. That's actually a good one. And use gestures and mannerisms that you typically would. I sometimes talk by hand, and there's some of my gestures not appropriate for video. So we'll, we'll keep those away from pleasant conversation with legislators. Also, another really important part with that stuff, and we've seen it here with me and this little button on my headset microphone stuff, is make sure that your sound quality when you're doing your recording is clear and at a good volume so that they can actually hear it without having to try and get a whole lot of static or whispers or things like that. A lot of crackling, noise in the background. Kind of watch so you don't have um, all the kids in the house doing a pin the tail on the donkey adventure or something like that. The background screaming, hoot and holler, and then pop of balloons. Although that sounds fun. But that's it. That's enough of my little tips for the day. I do again appreciate you coming on out with me tonight. I do appreciate you checking in and making efforts to contact your legislators and talking about these. I think an important issue. I really do have some hopes for South Carolina this year on moving legislation forward. I just do have to make sure I'm doing my homework that we're moving good, viable legislation forward that's not going to hinder us a whole lot down the road. But that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you again for joining me. We'll look forward to you right here again next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. for the South Carolina Cannabis Conversation. Have a good night, y'all. Bye bye now.